How's it going, guys? Your boy Salty Uchiha, Red Hair Kaneki, 2/3 of the Golden Triangle, Anime Late Night Podcast. Yeah. Shouts out Senju. And, yeah. Dragon Ball Super, episode 131. Final episode.
I don't give a fuck.
Wow. So, this is going to be salty.
I really don't.
Alright, my friend. So, what did you think about the chapter? Because it's a good thing we're getting both.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. What did you think about the episode, sir?
That's alright. It turned out how I kind of expected. Yeah. I expect all the universe to be fucking brought back, so... There you go. If anyone who thought otherwise... I don't know what kind of shit you're smoking.
Wow.
But... Yeah. It was an alright ending, to be honest. Like, I didn't feel that much from it. I didn't really feel any more emotional than I was when I watched last week's episode. The only thing that I thought was really cool was the homage to Goku and Vegeta first fight at the canyon thing, and they did the same pose that they did. I thought that was really cool. I was like, other than that, it just, I don't know, it feels really lackluster, it feels rushed. Combination of all those things. How about you, man?
Well, I guess I'll probably save my thoughts for the end of that. Alright, so the episode starts off with, Frieza and 17 basically looking up at Jiren. Jiren's basically like, fuck y'all doing here? Y'all wasting your time. There's no point. Goku's on his stomach, hurting. And, we see 17's basically like, we have to, basically, the basic idea was to basically hold out till the time runs out, essentially. And, then they commence the fight. 17 gets kind of swept off to the side, and we essentially get to see Golden Frieza versus Jiren, and granted, Jiren should be exhausted at this point, which he kind of is, and which is kind of the only way you could justify Frieza having, like, an actual sporting chance. And in truth, they actually illustrated it, or it was animated, I should say, actually quite well. Like, their fight sequence it wasn't super flashy, but it was alright. You know what I mean? It was kind of clean. Frieza was talking hellish shit. Like, you know what I mean? He's like, oh, it looks like you lost your will to fight. Oh, where's all that power at from earlier? This, that, and the third, which gave Jiren a little bit more, like, incentive, but I mean, in truth, I think Frieza was starting to get into his head, like getting to his head heavy. 17, who ended up getting bumped back a little bit, essentially had to provide support, which is why people, and myself included, consider him the MVP of this tournament. And shit got rough there for a minute because Frieza had an advantage on Jiren. Boy, Jiren stands up, gut punches him, steps on his tail, and starts working him over like Mochi. Yeah, pretty much. Like, just started smashing him the fuck up until 17 came in with the spear, and he's like, 17's like, it's like, this time you're gonna feel it. Jiren was like, it won't work on me. He's like, yeah, it will. Puts the shield around them and then causes the explosion, which was actually really fucking clever. 17 gets blown out. How his durability is ridiculous. I mean, everybody talks about his stamina endurance, which obviously because he's an artificial human, but
Actually, speak of his stamina endurance, his wife must have done some work. Yeah, continue.
Wow, his dexterity is pretty godlike. So Frieza's like, that was kind of, so from that we see Jiren finally fall to his knees, spits up, whether that was blood or lunch or whatever that was. It was
saliva.
Whatever. That hits the ground. You see the sizzle from it, like, and you know, the whole crew, all of Universe 11 was like, oh no. So then Frieza walks up on 17. He was like, well, that's pretty rash. And he was like, no matter. He's like, I knew if it wasn't gonna work, you would still be all right. He's like, go ahead and finish him off. And Frieza looks down at him like, I'm honored by your trust. Which is funny because I thought Frieza was gonna say some cold-hearted shit like, I'll stab you in the back first chance I get. But instead he complimented him. Like, Find out to be fucking strange.
And
But
then
anyway.
And then at the end, Frieza acting like Tsundere.
Yeah, pretty much. So he walks up on Jiren, gives him the finger, because that's what Frieza likes doing. And he's like, anything else? He's like, you're not going to look up at me? You're not going to look me in my eye when you're on your knees?
You already lost the will.
Yeah, pretty much. He was like, look how broken you are.
And Top was like, Jiren!
Oh, yeah, that's what you want to go ahead and do that part?
He basically tells Jiren, like, are you really that weak? Are you that much of a coward?
No. You didn't say the coward part until the end.
Can I tell him part?
Sure, no problem. Wow. I was like, yeah, you're feeling like me in beast mode right now. Like, damn.
No, I told you. I just...
All right, bro, go ahead. Do your part. So
he basically talks to Jiren, kind of like rebuking him in a way where he's saying, are you trying to, like, after all you have done, after all the things you have built up, are you just gonna let it go like that? All your strength from being just kind of like not dependent on anyone else. You know, are you that much of a coward? You're gonna let it go? And then, you know, Jiren kind of felt some kind of way, and he started powering him up.
When he said that he didn't believe that just because he didn't believe in his strength didn't mean that Toppo didn't.
That doesn't mean no one else did. So, you know, he kind of, they say he broke through his limit again, which I'm like, okay, that's the fucking 12th time someone has broken their limits in this goddamn tournament.
Limit breaker.
Fuck limit breaker.
Wow, bro.
Yeah. You want to add to that? Any salty comments?
Not really a salty comment, except for the fact that the speech is a little bit more sympathetic than our savage friend over here decided to give it credit for.
Sorry.
Probably should call him Savage Kaneki now. Really, what was pretty much said was you spent all this time building up this strength on your own, only trusting yourself, only depending on yourself, only to let it all go. You would sit there and kneel in front of a villain. And in a lot of ways, you could say he was trying to shame him, but in a lot of ways, I think he was trying to put things into perspective. And one of the things that I thought that was kind of critical was when he was like, when he said that you may not believe in your strength, but I do. You know what I mean? Which is important because Jiren's obviously always been the strongest of their crew, and Toppo has always firmly believed in Jiren's strength, and especially being stronger than himself. And I think the rest of the Pride Troopers also. I think that might have been Jiren's first time really hearing it, especially after losing faith in himself. And I think in some ways Jiren felt a certain type of way about it, which is what caused him to get up, and then basically smacked him aside with whatever limit breaker, whatever you want to call it, with the energy that he had, and then says "Be gone," which is gonna be the new meme. Oh, anyway, with that being said, Frieza and 17 are like, we have to hold him off. You have to hold him off, and you have Beerus being like, you have to hold out, and that's when you see Goku.
Oh, the barriers start breaking.
Yes.
And then
I'm building up to that. Then we see Goku then sitting there on his belly screaming. Then all of a sudden he gets up.
Wow.
Now, how that works, I don't really know, because he has his hand on his forehead like that's instant transmission, but yet he has a barrier out. So I don't really get the point of all that. And then you see this blue energy coming from him also.
Well, the barrier broke first.
The barrier didn't break yet.
The barrier broke first.
The barrier didn't break yet.
The barrier broke first because as Frieza put more energy into it, he loses golden form. It started breaking. And just as it broke, Goku instant transmission there. He was holding on to 17's shoulder, kind of like giving him his energy.
Pretty confident he didn't have his hands on 17. I'm pretty sure he didn't. I'm pretty sure he had his hands in the direction of Jiren, but I'm pretty sure he didn't actually have his hand on either one of them. I'm actually pretty confident of that. Alright, so the instant transmission part is explained because now that I think about it, Goku was on like that lone boulder that was off wherever the fuck it was at. As for that whole...
I don't know how he'd get up again.
It is what it is.
I don't know how he still has energy.
It's Goku, sir. Okay? Just accept it.
Well, whatever.
And, so he comes up and he's...
just like how Vegeta accepted it then, right?
fuck you. I mean, we're still friends and everything, but fuck you. So we see Goku end up getting up, basically saying sorry for letting you guys have like all the responsibility, and tell 17 to go ahead and dip, which makes sense. And Frieza's like, maybe you should go, and I'll hold them off. And which we all know why Frieza was doing that. Goku gets mad and is like, Frieza! It's like, we've given everything. We've surpassed all of our own limits, and we still haven't been able to beat him. And so if one of us tries to take him on, even if all of us try to take him on at once, we still might not win. We have to fight together. And that's when Frieza goes into this little monologue about, you're going to remember your promise, right? You know, you'll use the Super Dragon Balls to wish me back. And Goku kind of just looks at him, and he's like, Frieza, he's like, you remember your promise? And he's like, bitch, I don't break promises. And he's like, as long as you hold on to your word, I'll hold on to mine. And he's like, and you should know that better than anybody. Now, I remember watching a couple of people's reviews, Geekdom especially, because he's taking a lot of hate on Twitter right now. And he was like, I didn't really understand that reference. I can go ahead and explain that if you like. The reference essentially goes back to when Goku gave Frieza his energy back on Namek and let him go. Basically, it's the concept of mercy more than an actual promise. And whether that was a mistranslation or whatever the case may be, that's essentially what it is. He's constantly giving Frieza chances, and Frieza keeps fucking it up, as like people we know. Anyway, so with that being said, Frieza was like, you being naive makes me sick, but I'm actually grateful for it. 17 is basically like, you guys want to kiss and make up now? Frieza gets butthurt, like I probably would have, and been like, over my dead body. And then probably one of the better exchanges of the Tournament of Power basically commences. I am mad how they illustrated Vegeta's face though. That was bullshit. Like that shit was anything goddamn special. If you fight the same motherfucker over and over and over again, what makes you think you couldn't fight with them? You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ. They spent enough time fighting against each other that of course they should be able to fight in goddamn tandem. They did not need to illustrate Vegeta's face like that. That's all I'm saying. Shut up. And with that being said, I just didn't like they have that like disbelief or shock on Vegeta's face. That was unnecessary. Anyway, let's move on. So, their exchange was all right. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, I like how 17 was providing support. I like 17's I don't know what I'm gonna call it, so I'm just gonna call it blue arrows, where he sent that blue beam off and it shot those arrows up, which was basically ping pong and Jiren, which was great. Anyway, as that was going on, you saw Frieza and Goku basically going up, getting their hits in. It was kind of sick in that one exchange when they got him on top of the, well, just short of on top of the timer, where Frieza ends up kicking him in the throat and Goku ends up punching him in the gut, and you see Jiren's eyes flash red, and then next thing you know, he ends up just sending them both back and then hitting them with the invisible punch joint. And then Jiren, proving how intelligent he is, decides to go after 17 directly. So 17 is basically shooting off, is going ahead and firing off at him. Jiren's just shrugging that shit off, punches the ground under him. Frieza and Goku understand, see what's going on, so they actually fly down to go and get him. Frieza actually smartens up and is like, hey, throw me. Goku, in mid-flight, changes his trajectory, starts sliding down the side and shit like on some volleyball shit, sends Frieza flying with his like powered up meteor strike. If you guys play the video game Dragon Ball FighterZ, you know what I'm talking about. And ends up grabbing Jiren. Now, this was kind of cool because it was unexpected. And yet again, I feel like they give us moments like this just so they can let Krillin talk. Like he has any insight or anything. But anyway, Krillin...
Yeah, fuck Krillin over like that?
I'm just saying, I would have rather had Yamcha. Anyway,
No, fuck Yamcha.
Fuck you. With that being said, don't. Okay, I'm really salty at the moment. Just don't, not right now. Just not right now. Not right now. What happens is basically Frieza ends up grabbing onto Jiren and ends up taking him down through a boulder. As this is going on, Jiren, being the gangster he is like, nope. Twisted midair, drives dude into the ground, and then just starts bashing him back and forth on the ground and shit. Goku, who is now trying to get back in Super Saiyan. Oh, I guess they remember that Super Saiyan is still a thing. They give Goku that briefly.
It's kind of phasing back and forth.
Yeah. He ends up grabbing Jiren, which they end up bringing him down further. Then, and like a last big push, you see a powered-up Frieza and a powered-up Goku, which you could say is a shades back to Namek, basically screaming and giving like that last push to knock Jiren off. And as Jiren is falling off, he says, is this what it means to trust? Is this the true power of Universe 7? And boom, they're gone. Would you like to go over the sentimental fairy tale type shit that happened on the bleachers, or you want me to do that?
I mean, I could point out the Vegeta part if you want to.
Sure, why not?
You know, like, when they disappear, you know, after Universe 11 already disappeared, you know, I like how Vegeta kind of like turned his back around and be like, they were strong. How do you feel about that?
He said that he actually said he was impressive.
No, he didn't say he was strong.
No, he said he was impressive. Dude, I saw the one in Japan with all the commercials. He said he was impressive, wasn't he? And Goku said yeah.
I watch on Crunchyroll.
I'm gonna say nothing about this. Anyway, before that, so everybody gets eliminated. Jiren shows up, and Toppo immediately runs to him and is cradling him, basically. And
It's quite talking about the big ass hand.
yeah, he does. And they say arigato, saying thank you and shit. And Jiren was like, why? I've only held you guys in contempt and whatnot. And what did he say? He said, I guess he still continued fighting for them. I can't remember what Toppo exactly said, but they were basically thankful for that whole situation, and for him at least trying to continue the fight. And that's when Goku was basically like, I haven't had enough yet. You know what I mean? I want to see you again and whatnot. I felt like we grew stronger together throughout this tournament and whatnot. And I feel we can get even stronger. And Toppo basically gives him that smirk, which I don't know if I like. I don't know, because they're trying to give him character now, and it's too late, I guess. I don't know. And then he disappears. So then we get into crunch time. Now, essentially, this was kind of like 2 episodes in one, because the fight was like the first episode, and then what comes next with the dialogue and what happens next is kind of the second part. One part that I am leaving out is when Jiren was about to get eliminated by Frieza, and you see Belmont being like, Jiren, and he's like, he did well. And then you see like everybody kind of like having this like, it's really more concern for Jiren than them getting ready to get eliminated, in my personal opinion. I feel like they were more concerned with Jiren's personal well-being and shit. So I thought that was kind of a touching moment and whatnot, because the Shin guy of Universe 11 who talked all that mad shit, he looked real
sweaty.
Yeah, he looked super, super humbled at that point. But there's neither here nor there. All right, so second part of the episode. So 17 is given the option of whatever he wants to wish for. You see Zen-oh's come out and be like, yeah, wish for anything. Yeah, wish for anything you want. And the more that they were trying, it's almost like they were trying to entice him, which made me think, oh, well, I already know what's going to come next and whatnot. This is going to be some bullshit test, which it was. So 17 basically is like, looks up at Goku, who has this slightly closed up eye, which I saw somebody on Twitter say, I'm not going to name him out or call him out on his name, being like, yeah, look at Goku, man. He got beat up pretty good. You know, look at his eyes slightly closed. What? Vegeta had his eye fucking closed on some bullshit. And y'all didn't say nothing, but Goku closed his eye.
Oh, you know, Vegeta had,
you know what? Whatever.
Had a swelling black eye.
Whatever. Okay, whatever. Anyway.
Black eye. It's like that bump he had at the end.
Anyway, I'm starting to feel like getting my feelings now. You see that we basically see that Goku is Goku. Anyway, sorry. 17 looks at Goku, and then he's like, "I know what my wish is. I want you to wish all the universes back." And they basically are like, "Are you sure?" And then 18 gets in her feelings, but at first, initially, I thought she was getting into her feelings, but she wasn't. I'll get into that in a second. And he's like, "Yeah, that's what I want." He's like, "I'm a park ranger, and I have shit to do. Hurry up, make this shit happen." And everybody gets wished back. We see everybody. Like, for example, Savage Kaneki's favorite, Ribrianne, came back in the mix.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. His favorite came back. Universe 9 came back. Obviously, Universe 11 came back. They came back last. Everybody basically shows back up. We see that Khalifa and Kale are like, we're alive! And then let's go to level 3. And Kaba obviously was like, Master, you did it! Which he did.
Well,
he did.
He did.
He did.
Technically, it was 17.
He did.
Technically, it was 17.
He did.
He all he did was sit in the bleacher.
Did. Thank you.
All he did was sit in the bleacher.
He did. And what happened? Okay, so
he did sit in the bleacher.
What ends up happening is and then we see Champa, who looks up and he's like, "I won't thank you, brother," which that's the second time he said brother, so it has some sentimental meaning. Anyway, 18. So then we see Universe 7's like coming down to actually greet 18 or 17. Sorry, 18 jumps out. He's like, "Are you sure? Are you sure you want to give it up? I thought you said you wanted to have a cruise for your family." And he's like, "It's okay." He's like, "I make decent money. I'll make it happen on my own." And whatnot. And I don't know why 18 was making such a big deal about it. Maybe she wanted to go on that cruise. I wouldn't mind seeing her in a bikini, but I mean...
Well, I can hook you up with that.
Yeah, touche. But, like, I don't see why she was making such a big deal, but it's whatever. And when...
Apparently, Beaumont's Capsule Corp got a fucking yacht out of nowhere.
We got many yachts, bro. Many. Don't ever question my wifey.
But you know
anyway.
What? We got many advantages.
Anyway, what ends up happening is so basically 17's like, no, Goku's basically like, "Hey, thank you very much for what you did," and he's like, "Well, really, I should thank all of you," and he was like, "Huh?" And that's when 18 was like, "Oh, see, seems like you guys are becoming more and more like each other as time goes on," which Goku's like, "What?" And that's when the Zen-ohs come down. But before that happens, we first things first, we see that since the happy ending has basically happened, Frieza's like, "All right," he's like, "You guys can have your bullshit happy ending. Let me go to hell now." And Goku's like, "But you have a little more time." It's like, "Fuck that." It's like, "I don't need to see all this fairy tale bullshit. I'm ready to go." So then Whisk comes down, and I understand. Well, I'll talk about this in speculations a little bit because I agree with somebody else on this term, but basically,
apparently Whisk can bring people back to life.
Yeah, apparently. So Whisk comes back and basically restores them. Vegeta's like, "The fuck?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "It's a gift from Lord Beerus." Beerus is sitting on the bleachers looking. Then everybody looks at him. Then he turns his head, and the Supreme Kai and Elder Kai look at him like, "Nigga, what you looking at?" So, like see some booty over there or something? Anyway,
some cat booty.
Exactly, some angel booty. And so,
well, I mean,
margaritas
there. You know?
Wow, well, touche. But actually, she's on the ground though with Whisk at that time. Anyway, so he's restored, and he's like, "Well, I have no intention of giving up my evil ways." Goku's like, "Oh, I'll defeat you then," and he's like, "Perhaps." Now we're up there on the bleachers. We're back up on the bleachers where the Shinkai and the Elder Kai, and he's like, "I'm surprised that 17 ended up making that wish." And he's like, that was kind of a twist. It was unexpected. And that's when the Grand Prix shows up, and he's like, "Well, there's a stipulation that we didn't tell any of you. If the Zen-ohs," which I guess is trying to give more credibility to both of them, had both come to the conclusion that the warrior who won the tournament would have enough virtue to wish back all the universes that weren't destroyed. If not, there would have been a consequence. And they're like, "What?" And it's like, if that warrior would have wished for something selfish, everybody gets erased. And I was like, ew. So it's kind of a good thing that Goku didn't wish for Frieza. It's a good thing 17 didn't wish for the goddamn yacht. It worked out, basically, for a lot of people. Anyway.
I think Master Roshi didn't last until...
Yeah, that's true, too.
Who wish like for many angel bitches.
Pretty much. So then, like I said, so let's jump back down to Goku. So the Zen-ohs come up. They're like, "It was a great tournament. We had a great time. What's going to be next?" Beerus comes off, puts that boy in the chokehold, being like, "Shut the fuck up. Go to sleep. Go to sleep." Yeah. And then we see that the Elder Kai and the Supreme Kai are on their knees, kneeling, I guess, and saying that we have to leave now. We got to go. So the Zen-ohs are like, "Aw." And they were like, "Well, Goku, are you going to ever come back?" And he's like, "Yeah, I promise." So that's where the whole farewell.
Goku for another tournament.
Wow. Yeah, pretty much. So they were basically like, "All right, yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I'll be back, I promise." Which, as Savage Kaneki said, that foreshadows the tournament to come next. And then we go back home. So the credits are... You want to do the credits for everybody, sir?
No.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
I mean, like, the credits really not that much dialogue. It's just them going home. Vegeta getting a head bump by Pan.
That's not what happened. Anyway, what happened was Vegeta gets home. He gets hugged by his wife and his daughter. Okay, we get to see what we didn't get to see was fucking Goten, Miriam, and fucking Trunks. Oh yeah, not sit there and handle these motherfucking poachers like they should have. We got to see.
They might do an OVA.
Maybe we got to see Piccolo come back home to his son and his granddaughter. She's playing with his tentacles
or
antennas and shit. We got to see. What else did we get to see? We got to see 17 get his fucking godlike fucking cruise liner shit. That's just bigger than any fucking family would ever fucking need. But it has a big capsule corp thing on the top.
Does he have more people? Maybe he have all the animals on there. Kind of like some Noah Ark shit.
No. No animals allowed. But because it's capsule corp, he can put it back into that little container whenever he wants. Like into the little capsule thing. So that's kind of helpful also. So, don't ever question my wifey's abilities. Anyway.
I don't. Especially that picture I sent you last night. Master Roshi. I don't doubt her ability.
We got to see Bulma's sister. We got to see
Jocko.
Jocko was there.
Jocko. Fuck that little alien bitch.
That's racist. Oh. Yeah, we basically got to see the whole crew. Everybody shows back up to my motherfucking house. I didn't see Yamcha there though. That's kind of fucked up.
Bulma was like, oh shit, we can't let Yamcha be here.
That was kind of fucked up because Yamcha wasn't there. At least I don't think Yamcha was there. I don't remember seeing him.
Yamcha's not allowed 50 feet within, bruh.
Wow. So everybody's eating. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody's kind of looking at Bora or Bula. And then
Krillin 18 and Marin Skyping 17.
Yep.
While he's on his cruise.
Didn't see his family yet though.
No, yeah, we still never get to see his family.
That's kind of messed up. And then we see Pan kind of flying around, doing her thing, and she bumps into Vegeta, giving him this big welt on his head, holding the side of his face. Vegeta's like, ah! Because Goku's in the background laughing, thinking that shit was funny.
Does that bump remind him of his time during the tournament? When he got that black eye? The swelling? Bring back some PTSD.
Oh, woosah. Vegeta ends up challenging Goku to a fight, which they end up fighting outside on the lawn, and then eventually it ends up going back to where they initially met, where their first fight took place, same pose.
The Grand Canyon.
Yeah, basically. And Goku is like, Vegeta asks him about Ultra Instinct. He says he doesn't remember or he can't do it anymore. Bullshit cop out.
Oh, he can't unlock it.
Bullshit cop out. Thank you. Bullshit cop out.
I didn't say anything about
it. It was a bullshit cop out. Right here. Oh, alright, we'll right there. Bullshit cop out. It was a fucking bullshit cop out. Anyway, he says that he can't do it anymore and whatnot. I guess he burnt himself out or whatever the case may be. So I guess that gives Vegeta, but I guess it's still even grounds for Vegeta because he still has Ascended Super Saiyan Blue. Whatever.
They're probably gonna both get Ultra Instinct again somehow, fucking next season or in the fucking movie.
Possibly. So Vegeta's like, no matter, I'll find my own way to get stronger, and that Goku's like, yeah, we will. I was like, we will get stronger, and Vegeta's like, of course, we're Saiyans, and then they get into their pose, and then there you go.
Saiyans are limitless.
Pretty much, and that was the end of the episode.
Oh, and then Frieza, we see Frieza.
Oh. And Frieza pops up in the middle of space, and basically it's like,
the Overlord of the Universe is back!
Actually, he said the Emperor of the Universe, sir. But, yeah, he did say bitches that. But, he basically is like, sorry for keeping you guys waiting. Whatever, man. I don't know. Like, we're still holding on to Frieza and shit? Like, we can't move forward without him?
Frieza's probably gonna come back as a good guy.
Probably.
He probably show up at Bulma's house and be like, what's up? Can I get some pizza?
Oh, so Frieza can eat at my house, but not Yamcha.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. Anyway, overall, I'm okay with the episode. I liked it a lot better than 130. I'm sorry. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know people be jerking off to 130. Fuck 130. 131, though, was a good episode. It was
decent.
Yeah, it leaves still a lot of shit that's unresolved. We'll talk about that in speculations and discussions coming up next. But it was all right for the most part. Anything else you want to say? For Salty Uchiha and Savage Kaneki, that's what he's going to be known for from here on out. And for Senju, thank you guys for, well, I would say that being with us since episode like 66, but in truth, that channel got lost or
got lost in time
on some bullshit. Yeah, so
fuck you, YouTube.
Well,
You're a dick.
Well,
you're not paying us. I don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
Suck a dick.
It's good.
All right.
Go ahead.
Try
Get it all out.
to demonetize us. I don't give a fuck. We're not even monetized in the first place. So you know what? Fuck. Fuck you, YouTube. Eat a dick. Eat a dick. Eat a dick.
Wow. Speaking of which, as it pertains to YouTube, did you hear about that thing where when people subscribe to your channel, that they actually choose what subscribers see your videos and what don't?
I don't think so.
That happened like 2 days ago. You should probably watch it because it's actually pretty good.
I don't know.
It's pretty fucked up.
I'm mostly on Twitch now.
Wow. Well, everybody else is over there on Twitch now too. ForneverWorld's over there. Everybody's pretty much migrating over there. Actually, if I remember correctly, Logan Paul's supposed to be there tomorrow. Anyway, thank you guys for just being here on this journey with us for Dragon Ball Super, the anime. As you guys know now, since the anime, we won't be doing the anime. There'll be either plot point or what ifs episodes or topic videos on that. Expect us to do the manga. That is actually the next thing that'll be coming up, and hopefully getting back in the Black Clover as soon as somebody can find the motherfucking time to start editing a fucking video. So look out for that. And yeah, going to get boba. We'll see you guys. Speculation discussions. It's your boy Salty here for Savage Kaneki and Senju. Thank you guys very much. We'll holler at y'all later. Peace.